Hey everybody, this is Melvin and Darren with MyPlatinumClub.com with another installment of a member's burning question. So we opened up the mailbag today and we've got Connie from Cleveland. And Connie, thanks for your question. She's looking to sell her 24-unit apartment building that she owns, and she wants to know what mistakes that she should avoid. What should she watch out for in selling this property so she can get top dollar?
Well, I mean, it's interesting, the question, because we deal a lot with buying stuff. Buying, how to invest, and how to do. We don't really have very many selling questions. So this is kind of neat. I like it. Mistakes to avoid when selling a property. I mean, we could probably have a half-day seminar on this, and believe me, I've made them. And so let me I guess kind of think out loud here and kind of boil it down to what I guess. Let me just kind of give maybe the biggest thing that could impact, I think, Connie's bottom line, because that's what it's really about. I mean, if you think about it, your biggest cash flow from a property is when you sell, right? That's not every month. It's
sure.
Once you sell, that's the biggest. That's
the
biggest chunk you're going to get, and so you want that chunk to be as big as possible. So, in order to get as big as possible chunk for Connie, there's something that she needs to do, and I bet she hasn't done it. And that is basically making sure that she takes 30 to 45 days before she sells the property to maximize the income and reduce the expenses. Okay, and that's a minimum of 30 to 45 days, Melvin, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to put the property on the market with rents that need to be raised, with expenses that are out of line. Because it's going to end up costing you tens of thousands, in some cases hundreds of thousands of dollars in value, because I don't care if the property is brick, if it's in the best location in the world, if it's got gold-plated faucets, I don't care. Okay? Well, the only thing anybody really is worried or concerned about is the cash flow. Mm-hmm. How does it cash flow? And what kind of future cash flow can it produce for me? That's what's going to be on the buyer's mind. And the buyer, like I said, doesn't care that she put a new roof on last year. The buyer's not going to care that she put new carpeting through all the units last year. That's nice. That's important. That helps the property sell maybe a little faster, but it does nothing for the income stream. Okay. So Connie's job.
So don't spend her time doing those things.
Yeah. Don't spend the time. I mean, look, if something needs to be fixed or repaired, okay, so if the roof is leaking, you got to fix it, right? But don't make the mistake of thinking money put into the property for capital improvements comes back out and adds to the value of the property when you sell. It doesn't. So if I put a new roof on my property today, or Connie does, okay, so let's say she spends $40,000. Her property isn't worth $40,000 more. Okay, because if I'm a buyer, I'm going to expect the roof to be working.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so, in terms of knowing that, you want to maximize the income, get those rents up to market level as quickly as you can, because what that'll do is that'll raise the net income the property produces and make the property more valuable. Okay. Mm-hmm. At the same time, what you want to do, all right, is not only maximize the rent, but maximize other areas of what I call miscellaneous income. Okay, so for a lot of apartment properties, there's laundry machines. Okay, common area coin-operated laundry machines. Okay, well, if your laundry machines have been 75 cents for a wash and a dry for the last 2 years, you want to raise those up to $1.25, $1.50. Okay, that adds maybe an extra $3,000 in annual income. Well, guess what? That'll add another $40,000 to the value of the property just by doing that. Okay, so it's about maximizing the rents and maximizing the other income streams that are coming into the property. Okay, so that's part one. Part two now is work on those expenses. Okay, I'll use a couple quick examples. You want to be repricing your insurance, for example. Okay, we repriced insurance on a property here recently, and we had, get this, we had insurance that was annual premium was going to be $39,000. Okay, all the way to annual premiums of $11,700. Okay? Wow. Same coverage. Okay, same coverage. Different companies, different philosophies. Okay, and so if we would have went the $39,000 route, right, and we would have sold the property, we would have left a lot of money on the table. Okay, going the $11,000 route, We're not leaving any money on the table, and we're actually making money by doing that, right? So you want to take a look at your expenses line by line and see which can be realistically reduced. Okay, so a lot of people just, every time the insurance is a good example, every time it comes up for renewal, they just write the check for the new premium, or they don't do any shopping around. Okay, property taxes are another big one. Okay, so is there any way you can reduce your property taxes? You want to be looking at that. Utility costs, you want to be looking at that. And then other fixed expenses like garbage and waste hauling, okay, lawn care, snow removal, repair and maintenance costs, all those kinds of things, management fees. You want to be looking at every single item line by line and asking yourself, can we get this to be lower? Okay, and by doing this simple exercise of finding out, can we get our expenses up and get our income up and raise that income stream? Look at our expenses and reduce our expenses. All of a sudden we've taken our net income and we've really raised it up substantially. Okay.
And she's probably got some opportunity there with 24 units.
Well, look, I mean, most everybody is guilty of not doing what I just talked about. And so, even if a few small changes on the expense side, so just put it this way. Let's say she goes through this exercise, okay, a month before she puts the property on the market. Let's say she only increases her rent, let's just say $1,000 a month, okay? Let's say she reduces her expenses, okay, let's just say $200 a month. She has a net effect there of $1,200 a month, right? Well, look, $1,200 a month isn't going to be anything that's going to get anybody rich, but think about this. $1,200 a month in income, annually, okay, annually is approximately $14,000 of additional net income a year. Okay?
Very nice.
All right? You take that $14,000 and you divide it by, let's just say, a 10% capitalization rate. You've increased the value of your property $140,000, haven't you? Okay? Now here's the cool thing. Did she do any repair and maintenance work on it? No. Did she go in and replace carpets? No. Did she go in and put in? No, she hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
Okay? So look, this is where the money is to be made. So what she needs to do is, and it's like the fourth time I've said it, but I'll say it again, at least a month and a half ahead of time, look for ways to increase the income stream, okay, and get that done, okay? Also at the same time, look for ways to reduce your expenses. Get that done. Even if it's minute small changes here or there, it makes a huge difference in value, okay? And it's worth taking a month to a month and a half to do that.
Absolutely.
Okay? Now look, realistically, most of that is not going to be able to be changed, okay? So from an income standpoint, you know, you probably have leases in place, and you're not going to be able to get that. So if most everybody's on a 6 to 1 year lease, 6 month 1 year lease, probably not going to be able to do much there. Okay, but if you can change one or two of them, you want to do it. Okay, same on the expense side. More than likely, you go through most of the expenses. About 80% you're not going to be able to do anything with. But you have one or two of them you can. I mean, isn't it worth going through that exercise to get an additional $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 at the closing table?
No brainer.
I mean, I think it is. And so that's what she needs to do. So before you worry about what broker to hire, before you worry about, you know, where to advertise the property, before you worry about, do I need to paint the exterior door or not, this is the exercise you need to do.
Gotcha. Work on this stuff first.
Yep. And if she does that, she'll put literally tens of thousands of dollars of additional profits in her pocket at the closing table.
Cool. Okay. All right, Connie, thanks for your question, and best of luck with your sale. If you have additional questions, go ahead and post them up on the discussion board on myplatinumclub.com. Again, this is Melvin and Darren. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Hey, Melvin, one more thing I want to ask you. With the additional money we just made, Connie, can we get a piece of that? Can we get any of that?
I would let's ask her.
Connie, if you want to, you know, include us, feel free, okay?
All right.
See you later.
Bye-bye.